And we are live. Welcome to the NBA Strategy Show, Monday, November 24th. I am Josh Engleman here to break down the amount of games that I haven't looked at yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's an easy round number. Should have looked at that before I got started. Not all 10 on the DraftKings slate, though. Just 7. So they have dropped Houston, Phoenix, Utah, Golden State, Minnesota, and Sacramento. A little bit more manageable. We've got a 90-minute break between Bulls, Pels, and Rockets, Suns. So not surprised to see the line get drawn in the sand there, which means 2 earlies, another late swap at 7:30, another late swap for 8. It's a pretty nice slate for today. I think we could have some fun. If you're here, for real, hit that like button. Incredibly helpful. Wouldn't hurt at all. But we're going to work our way through this slate. We got plenty of time to break this stuff down throughout the day. You get the strategy VOD later today. Starting 5 later today. Live before lock later tonight. Plenty of content on the website for everybody. Let's get into it. We're starting it off in Detroit. The Detroit Pistons are 9.5-point favorites in Indy. That's a 234 total. I'm just going to put this out there right now. That line is insane. Insane. I'm not a big So I'm not a believer in this Pistons team in any way. Well, I shouldn't say that. Their defense is exceptional. They're just not what their record is. I love taking the points with the Pacers. Everybody needs to know that. I will do that after this show. Steven, actually, that was not Keith barking, oddly enough. But safe guess. I'm sure he'll do it shortly. From every other experience I've ever had in life. Anyway, Pistons, not on a back-to-back. Last played Saturday. Don't play again until Wednesday. Nothing too crazy here. Although we do need to figure out what their rotation is going to be moving forward. Because we got Jaden Ivey back last time out. Now, he only played 15 minutes. It's going to be some time. We're talking about a guy that missed most of last year with the broken leg. Obviously had some setbacks starting up here. Just finally got back. So minutes-wise, I don't think he's going to be doing a ton. They're just starting to run out of places to give people minutes. Like the Dennis Jenkins experience existed for 5 days. And then, by all accounts, that's kind of gone now. So more or less, we're looking at a pretty standard Pistons team. Cade, Duncan Robinson, Asar, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren. We're going to get Stu, Ivy, LeVert, Holland off the bench. A little bit of Green, a little bit of Jenkins. Going to be really tough to get to the bench for the Pistons at this point as they're slowly getting themselves back to full strength. But, yeah, I am not a huge believer in this Pistons team, regardless of the fact that they are, 12-2? 14-2. I ain't buying it. It is going to make me look at something, though. For my own personal amusement. All right, so we want Cade, Duren, Asar. Let's just look at that. Because that's sort of like, what they would call their future, right? Handle some defensive luck for 3-pointers. Cade, Duren, Asar. Great trio. Plus 13 net rating over 161 minutes. The defense is legit. Duren's been outstanding. I do kind of want to add... Ivy won't help in this analysis. Stu realistically could. Do they play at all? 40 minutes with all of them, plus 28. Yeah, the defense is real. I'm just worried about Cade, man. Which is probably not... Like... No one's looking at it that way. There's a look at the dunks and threes adjusted plus minus numbers. The 14 and 2 Pistons are what? That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18th. Completely agree. People are really happy with Cade Cunningham this year, and I don't get it. Why is everybody so happy about Cade this season? Because of the wins? Is that what it is? Just like the fact that they're 14 and 2 papers over like the truly ugly stuff? Again, 24 years old, has the ability to do these things. It seems like it'll be better in the future. I'm hating 55% true shooting. That's 28th percentile. 57% at the rim. That's 18th percentile. He's shooting 29% from 3. That's 9th percentile. Can't we just talk about the truth? Doesn't that seem reasonable? Look, guys that have 31% usage and can get to 55% true shooting with a 40% assist rate is great. But when you start comparing him to everybody else that he has to be compared to, there's a sneaky gap. Skills are there, but he is so preposterously inefficient. It's insane. He needs help. He really needs another creator, which I guess is supposed to be Jaden Ivey, but I don't get the sense that's going to be the thing. I just said that he's only 24. That came from me. You don't have to repeat it. That is a literal sentence that just came from me. Again, it doesn't mean that Cade isn't good in 2026. It just means he's not as good as people think he is right now. Aren't I like 40 on the dot? I don't know what that has to do with anything, but so that's the Detroit side. From who I think wins this game perspective, I'm more interested in Indy. Yeah, Brandon, I agree. Cade is awesome, but current perception and current reality, there's a gap. I agree with all of the same future perception thought processes that everybody else has. I expect that all to get better. It just currently isn't. Trevor, nothing you're saying has anything to do with DFS, but good try. I'm not shocked you're missing this. That's pretty consistent for a day-to-day show here. So those words didn't come out of my mouth. Nembhard, Mathurin, Shepard, Siakam, Isaiah Jackson. It is slowly becoming more and more of the Jay Huff experience. 27 and 26 minutes over the last two. Not surprised. He's the guy that can make things most interesting. This is a team that's not really deviating all that much. Mathurin is now back playing full minutes. Nembhard just plays full minutes. Siakam's playing full minutes. From a DFS side, I don't have a ton of interest in this Pacers team unless people end up out. I just like the Pacers more than I like the Pistons. Okay, here's a fun question for chat. Who's better? Pascal Pascal Siakam or Cade Cunningham? I'm intrigued by this answer. Cade, Pascal. It's tight. It's tight. Just ball. I hope that isn't, to me, about Siakam being better because he won a championship. If it is, you definitely don't watch this show. Even though you watch this show. Yeah, I think Doug's got the right answer. But it is a extra special coin flip here for me. If I'm finishing this season, I want Siakam. Moving forward, it's pretty clearly Cade. Either way, look. Cade Cunningham. Fun. Excellent future. Excited to see it. Like to watch him. Hasn't been as good as it seems. I could have given a better guy than Siakam. I gave Siakam because that's the opponent in this game. It's almost like it was brought to me naturally. I just don't know how the guy shooting 29% from 3 could be the clearly answer there. But I don't know. Clearly it's tough. But there's not much going on here for the Pacers. They got beat by Cleveland on Friday, took the weekend off. Pistons today. Raptors on Wednesday. We kind of know where these guys are right now. This is not a game that has like a ton of interesting stuff going on. Cade's at 10-5. Siakam's at 8,900. I mean, in this game, undoubtedly, I would rather have Siakam for DFS than Cade. $7,900 Dern's fine. There's just nothing all that interesting here. Not that kind of game. At least I don't think so. 234 total is great, but these guys are all sort of priced where they should be. I mean, realistically, I guess a $3,900 Jay Huff with a power forward center eligibility is interesting. Yeah, Jay Nev, you probably don't want to get me started on that one either then. Let's go to game number 2. Cleveland and Toronto. Speaking of teams that I don't believe in, the Toronto Raptors are playing in this one. Cavs, 2.5 point favorites in Toronto, 237 total. $237 total. So Cavs are on a back-to-back. Beat the Pistons last night by 15. Raptors also on a back-to-back. Beat the Nets yesterday by 10. So both of these teams are on a back-to-back. We are not going to dig into this one too much. Let's just talk through some of the expectations. I don't anticipate Darius Garland playing today. That seems impossible. I don't think Jared Allen is playing. Realistically, he could. I don't know if Sam Merrill is playing. Realistically, he could. I think Naquan Tomlin might start today. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Mitchell, Tyson, Hunter, Mobley, and Naquan Tomlin. We just need this. Like, no injury report till 1:30. There's nothing I could say right now that's going to get us any additional information. We need to pay attention to it. There's going to be some guys out. it's probably going to create some value. Similarly, chat, you're already mentioning this. Doesn't seem like RJ Barrett's going to play. Right knee strain from yesterday. Already took him out. Expectation is Jacoby Walter is going to take that start. Minutes, bit of a question mark. They could hot swap him for Grady Dick, Agbaji. I mean, realistically, just about anybody other than Mamu, and it's not going to make a difference. The rest of their bench just plays like 19 minutes a night. Realistically, this should make Quickly, Ingram, and Barnes look a lot better. But that's really the extent of this. And I have to imagine the sample is ultra minimal. I do just want to quickly see how they've been without Barrett. I know they're a lot better when Ingram's not on the floor. But if we take Barnes, Quickly, Ingram, and Barrett, let's apply 3-point adjustments. So Barrett off. They've only played 34 minutes with Barrett off and the other three guys on. -10 so far. Not ideal. Not ideal. Trevor, you're not doing yourself any favors here. If Cade's an undeniable first option right now, you're never going to win. Because he is massively worse than all of the other ones. Because when you start comparing those things to Jokic, Luka, Shea, we start to massive chasm right now. If he's the number one guy, you're fighting from behind to make up for it in other places. Did I mention Pirtle? He was out yesterday. Yeah, so Jakob Pirtle out yesterday. He's just going to play today. But like, RJ Barrett doesn't really affect Jakob Pirtle in any way. Let's pull up PvP stats. See if there's anything we can glean to the RJ Barrett off minutes. You never know who's going to soak up usage. All right. %29 usage rate with RJ Barrett off for Brandon Ingram. 29% usage rate for Scotty Barnes. I'm also going to add one more thing here. Let's say Ingram, Quickly, Barnes, at least one of them on the floor. Or sorry, at least two of them on the floor. So it's two of Ingram, Quickly, Barnes on with Barrett off. Yeah, 27.5% usage for Ingram, 22 for Quickly, 29 for Barnes. This is just, I want to take one quick look at these guys because I think I could dial these guys in kind of quick. Let's find out. Some of these spots I want to look at and think like, I wonder what this is going to look like. Some of them I don't care at all for today. All right, so Brandon Ingram, with these guys off, 19.5 twos, 5 threes. So we're looking at like 24.5 shots per 100 possessions. Right now I'm at 20. Similarly, Scotty Barnes, 22.7 in twos, about 5 threes. We're looking at about 27.5 to 28 shot attempts. These guys should look pretty damn good. All right, Ingram up, Barnes up. Free throws look mostly fine. Let me look at quickly then, and then I think we're okay. At least for like a quick glance. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's take a look at this game then. Because these guys are getting a pretty sizable usage bump now. At least for salaries for this game. Mitchell, 9,600. Scotty Barnes, 8,600. Mobley at 84. BI at 77. Emmanuel Quickly at 68. I mean, I like Brandon Ingram the most out of the Raptors right now. I lean Ingram over Barnes. I wish one of them had an MPE. That's kind of annoying they don't. But I'd rather spend 7,700 for Ingram. Now, the Cleveland news will help this. If they've got more guys out, that will make this Toronto side look a little bit better. But I would lean Ingram, Barnes, then Quickly. And then, I mean, I have no issue whatsoever with an $8,400 Evan Mobley, but I tend to like him more than most people do anyway. And then once we find out who's actually playing here, that will be a big difference. Yeah, Mitchell, I'm going to have to go ahead and push back on that one. The Raptors have been aggressively better when Brandon Ingram has not been on the floor, and everybody else in the group has. Plus 11 net rating in the 78 minutes without him. Now, I'm not trying to say that a 78-minute sample matters at all, but if you look at any of the advanced data right now, it is not painting Brandon Ingram in a great light. Nor should it. He's a one-dimensional dude who can't play any defense. So, I'm not surprised. And I don't want to be rude to Brandon Ingram because he's like pretty damn close to me from a location standpoint. So if he gets mad, it's not going to take too long. Although I'm sure he does not live there any longer. DK finally updated the NBA Cup DFS standings. I don't even know what that is. But allegedly I'm in the top 150. I don't know what that means, but kudos to me. So, again, for this Cleveland-Toronto game, both teams on the back-to-back, we need a ton of news, and we just don't have it now. 1:30 injury report will be huge. Speaking of that 1:30 injury report, just because of what today is, I will likely put the starting 5 VOD out after that first injury report. So look for that in like the early afternoon. Knicks and Nets, Battle of New York, sort of. Knicks are 14.5-point favorites here. Obviously, the Nets are just a dreadful basketball team. Knicks lost to the Magic on Saturday by 12. So no back-to-back for the Knicks. They play Charlotte on Wednesday. Nice little back-to-back stretch there. For the Nets, they are on a back-to-back. They played the Raptors yesterday. So in that case, we don't really know anything about the Brooklyn side. But what we do know about the Knicks is tricky. Landry Shamet's out. OG Anunoby's out. So we should get Brunson, Bridges, Towns, Robinson, and the most likely scenario right now appears to be Jordan Clarkson. I wouldn't be shocked if it ended up being Miles McBride, but it seems like it's Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson's been playing more minutes with some of these guys with, Anunoby out right now and guys bouncing in and out of the lineup. Josh Hart's been back up to about 30 minutes. But we kind of know what the Knicks do. Like, Once you set Brunson's minutes, Bridges' minutes, Towns' minutes, Robinson's minutes, and Hart's minutes, there's not a lot left. So it's not all that interesting to look at the Knicks. Yeah, McBride did miss the last game, not on the injury report today. But yeah, we're getting one of Clarkson or McBride. It doesn't really matter. Like, they're just going to play a bunch. In the 3 games since Anunoby went down, even with Shamet, Clarkson's played 20, 26, and 34. McBride played 39 and 22. Like, they're going to be in that like high 20s, low 30s either way. But someone's got to start. I mean, for Brooklyn, who knows? We don't have an injury report. Every one of these guys is just the same awful basketball player with a different name. They just happen to be from a different country. Assuming it's the standard rotation, we'll probably not pay attention to these guys and feel pretty good about it. That's really all I can say about Brooklyn at this point. They are as uninteresting as a team can be. 9,500 for Towns. Yeah, like there's no reason he can't smack the shit out of the Nets. Brunson at 9K seems fine. 8,200 starting to feel kind of pricey for Michael Porter Jr., but I would like to go back in time to 3 weeks ago when I was screaming at everybody to play Michael Porter Jr. He's $2,000 more expensive now. Claxton, I guess, but there's going to be a never-ending supply set. $4,900 Noah Clowney is probably the most interesting net. And I use the term interesting pretty loosely. Zaire Williams falls into minutes. You won't want to roster him. It won't feel great, but playable. Playable. I don't imagine getting to the Knicks much. Like, Clarkson's already 5,200, and I don't think he's any good to begin with. McBride's already 5,100, so, like, I don't think we're squeezing a lot out of this. But now we can head to Dallas and Miami. So Dallas lost to the Grizzlies on Saturday in the Clay Ja game. Miami today. Mavs are 8.5-point dogs. Mavs don't play again until Friday, however. So they're off for the rest of the week, and then they get the Lakers on Friday. For Miami, they played yesterday. So on a back-to-back, we don't have any of their information. They beat the Sixers yesterday by 10. And then they're going to be playing again on Wednesday against the Bucks. But at least they're at home. So home stand here. For the Mavs, Derek Lively is out. So let's go ahead and get him out. And we'll get Gafford into the starting lineup. We need to free anybody from the injury report. AD doubtful. So no on him. Not like he's going to play. I'm sure he'll play the moment I think he won't play. That seems safer. All right, let's just make quick adjustments to the minutes here on these guys. We're going to get Brandon Williams in for 27. Max Christie for 29. Cooper Flagg for 33. Peach for 33. Gafford feels fine at 25. Gonna take Najee to 27. We can keep Clay at 23. Okay. Russell appears to be back. Helpful information, I guess. So let's get him back in for, 21, 22? And then that kind of thins everything out. Cisse gets, generic backup run. And then 13 minutes, we'll split that between Jaden Hardy and Caleb Martin. But now we got to talk about the Miami Heat. They are a different team today. Now, they are on a back-to-back, so we don't know shit about them, which is annoying. But welcome back, Tyler Hero. I'm waiting for him to get back. He is now back. It's funny, like, I hate their starting lineup so much, but they're clearly not going to do anything about it. Tyler Hero, Norm Powell, backcourt. Trevor, Butler, Hero, and Adebayo were never going to be a big three. Jimmy Butler's old. They were never supposed to be the next big three. Hero, Norm Powell is so bad defensively, it's insane. They really should be starting Davion Mitchell. Is a big three just three players that play together? If you're the next big three implies they're going to be like together for a while. Yeah. There's not a person on the planet that doesn't live in Miami that ever thought any part of what that sentence is. Can anyone take down OKC? I mean, yeah, but like you shouldn't say that out loud. I'm telling you, by the time the season's over, we're going to understand that the Oklahoma City Thunder are the best basketball team that's ever existed. Assuming health, which it's the NBA, so you never know. How many minutes is Tyler Hero going to play today? Figure he's just back. If he's back, he's back. 28 feels right. What, Brandon, are you trying to tell me that when you say big three, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh is slightly different than Hero, Butler, Bam? I'm afraid I don't understand. How could that be? Those things seem so comparable. There's fucking 3 Hall of Famers versus 1.5. I like Tyler Hero, but it's funny to think about him with all of those other names. Is Jaime Hawkins just good now, or is he about to go back to the doghouse as all these bodies are getting back? Oh, this is the end of Drew Smith's reign as anything of relevance, that's for sure. Those minutes have got to go. Have I ever had to make a new account? No. Okay, so right now I have 260 minutes projected for the Miami Heat, which means I got to cut 40 minutes off of these dudes? Langston, you were right. That is a dumb question. This is not a fun Miami rotation right now. All right. Kashad Johnson just loses those 2. So now I'm down to 8. Realistically, we take one from Fontecchio. We probably take another one from Davion. That's 246. Pell Larson's got to lose some time for sure. Take him down to 25. I don't really want to go any lower on where. I think that's gonna have to be about good. Okay, let's take a look at this game since we don't totally know what's going on here. Yes, who cares about DFS on this DFS show? By the way, hit that like button if you guys haven't done it yet. We're at the midpoint here on the DraftKings slate. 8,300 for Tyler Hero. That's a no-go. That's a no for me, dog. Bam Adebayo, 78. I don't see it. I don't mind Cooper Flag for 7,400, but meh. I don't know how you play Norm Powell with Hero back. I don't know how you play Jaime Jaquez with Hero back. I don't know how you play Andrew Wiggins with Hero back. I don't really get the sense I'm going to be going to this game much at all. Maybe a little Gafford. Not really seeing the Pell Larson sitch. D'Lo's 5,300. This is a terrible game. 241 total is like interesting, but I don't know how you go to this Dallas-Miami game other than the fact that it's just going to be fast for Dallas. Miami number 1 in pace. Dallas number 5 in pace. Like, it'll be a track meet. But I don't think the pricing is advantageous for us. So let's go to Denver. Nugs lost to the Sacramento Kings on Saturday, which really I'm surprised they didn't implode their franchise after that. They've got Memphis today. 7.5 point favorites, 233 total. And they've got a date with the Spurs on Friday. No Aaron Gordon for this one. He's essentially missed the last 3 games. So we'll get him out of the starting lineup and slot in Spencer Jones. Let's get Curtis Jones, Deron Holmes, and Tamar Bates off of the injury report. So no Aaron Gordon, no Christian Brown, no Julian Strother. This shouldn't be too bad to fill out. So let's get this rotation done. 36 minutes for Jamal Murray makes a ton of sense. Cam's just playing now, so let's get him up to like 33. Peyton Watson has played 34 minutes in 5 straight games. 34, 34, 34, 34, 34. Sure. We got 24 out of Spencer Jones last time out. What did that look like? I can't believe they lost to Sacramento. What an embarrassment. All right. Picked up 2 fouls immediately. Staggered for a 3rd. Got his 4th. That's real rotations. 24 for Spencer Jones. 36 for Jokic. 25 for Bruce Brown. 24 for Tim Hardaway. 13 for Joe Val seems fine. Hunter Tyson's going to be in the rotation. Maybe a little Jalen Pickett. Okay. So that's the Nuggets. Now we get to the Grizzlies, a team I am very sick of. And I have to imagine everybody else is too. Just a truly irritating group of people. So Grizzlies beat the Mavs on Saturday. Nugs today. Pelicans on Wednesday. At least that will feel like a bit of a refresher. Q tag on Jaren Jackson. Obviously very important to us. right ankle sprain. Haven't seen him in the past two. Realistically, should be here. Don't know why I moved Santi Aldama to the injured list when he's not injured. All right, so let's hit this rotation for Memphis. Looking at a starting lineup of Vince Williams, Jalen Wells, Cedric Howard, Jaren Jackson, Zach Edey. So we're going to go somewhere around 24 for Williams, 26 for Wells, 26 for Coward, 30 for Triple J, 25 for Edey, 23 for Cam Spencer, KCP, Aldama, that feels like Conchar, Jock Landale, and we'll split between GG and Omax Prosper. All right, so that's Grizzlies Nugs. Not something I'm super excited to see. I have to imagine the Nuggets are highly irritated from that Sacramento loss. And at some point in the next 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to pour myself a new coffee. All right, Denver, Memphis. 13,500 for Nikola Jokic. This guy is just so broken. I don't understand. I can't even say I don't like it. Like, naturally, I don't, but I mean, I kind of do. Kind of do. I kind of like an $8,600 Jamal Murray. Not a great spot for him, though. I'm endlessly fascinated by Jaren Jackson Jr. Yeah, that's going to be the one. The best play here in this game is $5,500 shooting guard Cam Johnson. If you're getting to one piece of this and it's not Nikola Jokic because he's Nikola Jokic, I think it's Cam Johnson. Now, it is on a next level stupid that he's just a shooting guard, considering he won't play a single second at that position today. But that's just too cheap, and he's playing too many minutes. Like, there's no universe where I'm playing Peyton Watson before I play Cam Johnson, other than the fact that Peyton Watson has the MPE. But if I'm going to anything here, it's absolutely Cam Johnson. He's going to look good all day. And if you can get the Jokic, you, like, by all means, do it. It's just not easy when you have a $13,500 center. So, that said, I'll be back in a minute. I need a coffee. We back. Hard disagree on Cam Johnson over Watson. How? Same minutes, worst player. Ooh, that's not what I wanted anymore. Otherwise, though, I don't know what to do here. Now, obviously, if Triple J ends up out, we could create some value. But really, I don't think there's going to be a ton here for Memphis. But if we don't have Triple J, and it looks a bit like it has these previous two games, Santi Aldama will undoubtedly look a bit better. Sure, Dave. Sounds like I'm about to get a really, 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 really good line. So, because these guys are not going to be comparably projected. All right. Portland, Milwaukee. Let's get to it. Portland is on a back-to-back, so we obviously don't know shit about it. They got destroyed by the Thunder yesterday, as everybody does. Now they got the Bucks today. They're 1.5-point favorites in Milwaukee. They don't play again until Wednesday. Expected starting lineup for today: Avdia, Sharp, Kamara, Grant, Klingon. Which is interesting. Obviously, we haven't seen Drew Holiday in 5 games. Any news on Drew? Okay. Drew Holiday likely out multiple weeks from yesterday. So we could ignore that. What do we know about Shaedon Sharp? So I think we can probably assume Shaedon Sharp is going to play today. So we'll get Denny in for his 34. I'm going to hit Shaedon Sharp with like 29. Kamara for 34. 30 for Grant. 26 for Klingon, as usual. Chris Murray plays around 24 at this point. Time Lord didn't play yesterday, so he should be playing today. So let's fill out the rest of this rotation. God, this is gross. All right, so Sidi Sissoko is going to play. We'll start with like 16 minutes and we'll work our way up. I think I could probably do the same for somebody like Caleb Love. And then I'm going to, let's see, 16 left. We go like 8 to him and 8 to Rupert. I think that's probably about as close as it's going to get. Don't like this Blazers team, but there might be a little bit of value here. And then we get to Milwaukee. Lost to the Pistons on Saturday. So they're here today against Portland. They've got Miami on Wednesday in Miami. Obviously no Giannis, so not ideal for them. Looking at a projected starting lineup as of right now of Ryan Rollins, AJ Green, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, Miles Turner. That is not a group of basketball players that I like. So we get Ryan Rollins in for 32. We get AJ Green in for 30. We get Kyle Kuzma in for 28. Portis for 27. Miles Turner for 30. Get Cole Anthony for like 18 or 19. Obviously, Gary Trent just gets like 25 or 26. Bit of backup run for Sims in like the 18 range. Gary Harris feels like he's in there for a decent chunk. And now it looks like Andre Jackson may or may not have been resuscitated. Second guy off the bench behind Cole Anthony. Didn't think they were going to bring him back. I'll give him 17. See what that looks like. Again, not a huge feel on this game. Trevor, you think Shaedon Sharpe moves the line? Because he doesn't. If it is, it's going to move by a half point at best. The line is 1.5. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that I don't like the Blazers, but it certainly doesn't have anything to do with Shaedon Sharpe. Yeah, I agree with all of those statements, but it has nothing to do with Shaedon Sharpe. Let's look at this game, see if we have any value here. 9,300 for Denny is just crazy. Crazy. The old point guard playing power forward / power forward playing point guard. 8K Ryan Rollins is certainly a number I didn't expect to see this season. Cole Anthony? Gary Trent? It's not a very good game. I'm not confident there's a single thing I like here. Ryan Rollins being 8K, like I get it. Ryan Rollins is playing pretty well. 8K doesn't make sense. To me, it's better because Drew Holiday's out, but I have to assume that this Portland-Milwaukee game is going to be like very minimally owned. Unless we get some sort of other news that I'm not expecting. So then we close out the DraftKings slate. The Chicago Bulls, 5.5 point favorites in New Orleans. Bulls snuck out a dub against the Wizards on Saturday by 1. Bulls have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off before they get the Hornets on Friday. So realistically, this is like as great of a week as the Chicago Bulls can have from a scheduling perspective because the Pelicans and Hornets both blow. They're the only two games. Sucks they're on a road trip for it, but decent spot. So let's get these guys set up. Q tag on Kevin Huerter. Q tag Patrick Williams. We're looking at an expected starting lineup right now of Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Matas Buzelis, and Nikola Vucevic. No Dalen Terry, no Isaac Okoro. One sec, guys. All right, we're back. Giddey White, Dosunmu, Buzelis, Vucevic. With the double Q tags, let's get the rotations projected. We'll get 32 for Giddey. We'll get 30 for Kobe White. 27 for Dosunmu, which is subject to go up based on that injury news. Buzelis for 26. Vooch for 29. Jalen Smith for 18. Herder for 21. Yeah, Demetrius, I'm the wrong guy to bring that to. I don't have any problem with any of that when it happens. But, to be honest with you, like in a weird way, I prefer it, but I know I'm in the minority. Let's see. So Trey Jones is going to need like 20. That's 222. We need 18 more minutes. Seems like they're getting split between Javon Carter and Julian Phillips. So we'll go like 12 and 6, I think. Makes some sense. Not bad. Decent start for the Bulls. Now let's look at the Pels. Let's clear out this Pelicans side. Kevon Looney, questionable. It appears we're looking at a starting lineup of Fears, PV, Murphy, Bay, Queen. No Herb Jones. Obviously, no DeJounte. Wait. What's the deal on Zion today? Because these guys aren't on a back-to-back? So PV's definitely not starting. That is not a good pull here. Right? No, they'll start PV over Bay. Yeah, that's going to be my assumption. I'm going to take Sadiq Bey out of that rotation. All right, let's get this rotation set up here. So, Jeremiah Fears got 30 plus recently. It feels like a 28-minute guy. Jalen Johnson and Goga are not the same play yesterday. Let's get PV. I don't know, like 24 for PV, 34 for Murph, probably like 28 or 29 for Queen, 29 for Zion. Yeah, I'm expecting to see Fears, PV, Murphy, Queen, Zion. I don't think I assume Sadiq Bey is not in the starting lineup today. Could be. It's going to be one of PV or Bay at the very least that isn't in the starting lineup. Not like Sadiq Bey is not going to play or anything, but. All right. Let's get 14 for Eve Misi. Like 23 4 for Bay. Trevor, you're not him. You're not him. I promise. If you were him, you wouldn't be in this chat. I say that as the person that's running the show. Bryce McGowan's going to play a little bit more. All right, I can... You know what? I don't mind that 24 minutes to Bay. I will bump Alvarado up 2 more. Hawkins to 17. All right, that should work for the Pels here. We've got the Bulls in, right? Yeah. Let's take a peek. I mean, obviously, from a matchup perspective, we're talking about a team 2.5 points worse than average on D, a team 3.5 points worse than average on D. It's a great DFS environment, that's for sure. $9,800 Josh Giddey is really, really, really difficult to click on. Vooch at 8,100, really difficult to click on. Good spot for him, though. If he drew fouls, it might be a little bit different. But you don't. $7,600 Kobe White in this matchup, like, gives me a little bit of interest. Like, 5,800 for Queen is fine. But center only, like, I don't mind it. I don't love it. $5,300 Fears, but at this point, I've been touting Fears the whole season. He just never plays well when I have him. If Micah PV does start, small forward, power forward, 3,400 is fine. I thought I would like this game a lot more than I do, but I don't. Like, Queen's probably still good. I don't like it when he has to play alongside Zion. I don't think that's going to help. Weird game. Anxious to see what the projections look like. So those are the 7 games that exist on this slate on the DraftKings side. There are 3 more games after that. Houston, Phoenix, Utah, Golden State, Minnesota, Sacramento. We're just going to go through the rotations for each one of these pretty quickly. So we'll start on the Houston side. 5.5 point favorites in Phoenix, 226 total. Houston coming off the loss to the Nuggets on Friday. They've got Golden State on Wednesday. Looking at a starting lineup of Amin Thompson, Josh Okogie, Jabari Smith, Alperen Şengün, Steven Adams. Still no Tari Eason. No Kevin Durant. It's going to be out for this one. So very, very, very different thing here today. Best I can tell, they have 11 real bodies and 3 of them are questionable. So let's get Amin Thompson in. 37. Okogie back in the starting lineup, probably playing like 23. I mean, realistically, Jabari Smith is about to play like 34. Şengün already plays 36 a night. Adams for 23. If he plays, he's questionable. Reed Shepherd is probably going to play pretty massive minutes. Aaron Holiday is obviously a part of this. Clint Capella is going to play. Right there, I just projected the 8 guys that typically play and got 209 minutes. No Tari Eason, no Kevin Durant, no Jayshawn Tate. So now we need to think about where the rest of these minutes are going to go. Because I got to hand out 31 more. For the life of me, I can't figure out where those are going to go. They can't go to Jabari or Şengün. I can go to Adams to 24. Realistically, that's it. The best that I can do is 29 on Reed Shepherd. 17 Aaron Holiday. That leaves me 26 for these final 3 guys. 998. Not that I like it. So realistically, whatever we look at for Houston today is probably going to look even better, depending on what these Q tags do. Because like if JD Davis and Isaiah Crawford, if like they don't have these guys with the team, they're going to play 8 guys tonight and everybody's going to play massive minutes. Keep an eye on the Steven Adams news. He's properly questionable. But very weird game here for Houston. Phoenix is on a back-to-back. We're not going to spend a ton of time working through the logic here. They're 5.5-point dogs. 226 total. We're looking at, right now, a projected starting lineup of Booker, Allen, Brooks, O'Neal, Oso Ighodaro. Not expecting to see Mark Williams, I believe. So let's get these rotations in. 35 for Book. We haven't seen Grayson Allen in 4 games. He's probably like mildly limited on the way back, but nothing too crazy. Royce O'Neal's been sitting in that like 29 minute a game range. Trevor, you say a lot that I don't think looks good. That's probably yeah. See, that's the now. See, here's why I reply the most. It's not your simulation, boss. It's mine. There's a reason that I'm on the screen. I can promise you, if it's your simulation, you should be real sad that your simulation has you sitting in a YouTube chat at 9 o'clock in the morning. You should probably reprogram it. Strike a loot. This game isn't on DK. Sure isn't. It's like 22 for Jordan Goodwin feels about right. Ryan Dunn available? Not that Ryan Dunn. I don't know if Ryan Dunn's going to be available. We're going to put those minutes in there as placeholders for now. Mark Williams hasn't played a back-to-back, right? Let me double-check that. Because I know he's missed one. So that's 12th and 13th. I don't think they had an... and he missed this one as well. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 16, 18, 21, 23. Yeah, I'm going to assume Mark Williams isn't going to be playing this one. Get 16 minutes to Nick Richards. We'll get 20 minutes to Oso Ighodaro. Probably get like 8 to Malawach. Gillespie goes in for like 26. Isaiah. Oh, gonna have to walk somebody back. We could pull Malawach for Livers to get him 9, but I think he needs more than that. Although he's really only playing because of Dunn. So yeah, that's fine. We got Mark Williams out of there. That's all we needed to do. 2 more games to go that we want to work through rotations for. Utah, Golden State. Jazz are on a back-to-back. Lost to the Lakers last night. They've got the Warriors today. They're 2 touchdown underdogs with a 240 total. We don't have injury reports. So this does become pretty unfun. But I think we've got like a pretty good, realistic way to project these guys. And honestly, I don't even really think I got to move these guys around too much. Okay, Collier can come down. Filipowski's fine. Taylor Hendricks can go. Sensabaugh can bump. I don't imagine that matters today, but 33 minutes left. So that's 11. That'll be Utah. But I'm expecting George Michaelu, Ace Bailey, Lauri Markkanen, Yusuf Nurkic. They're going to look awful. Golden State lost to Portland by 4 on Friday. They are obviously huge favorites here at home against Utah, as they should be. Al Horford going to be out for this one. Draymond Green is questionable. That is actually pretty big news for the FanDuel side of this. Obviously, no Kuminga yet. Still no Melton. So we're looking at Curry, Richard, Moody, Butler, Draymond. Not too much here that we need to go crazy for. I think we pretty much know what these guys are doing at this point. I don't think the Warriors are, as weird as it sounds, like I don't think they're that difficult to project. They'll do some dumb stuff from time to time. Undoubtedly. But they have been like pretty well set in their rotation as of late. So let's get the rest of these minutes projected. So Trace Jackson Davis is gonna play real minutes today. Ooh, 249. Too many minutes. Cut both of those. We're down to 242. Gary Payton can go down. There we go. There's a non-zero chance I like Trace Jackson Davis as a late swap option. But if Draymond ends up out, we are going to be paying very close attention to Trace Jackson Davis and Quentin Post today. Especially in a matchup against the Jazz. Final game, Wolves, Kings. Wolves lost to the Suns on Friday, got the weekend off. Now they've got the Kings. We have no real interesting news on their injury report other than Terrence Shannon being questionable. Trevor, that might be one of the more ignorant things I've ever seen written in a chat before. But you do you, brother. This is your simulation, remember? $31 for DiVincenzo, 35 for Ant, 31 for Jaden, 32 for Randall, 32 for Rudy, 25 for Reed, 18 for Conley, and we'll get a small amount of minutes going to Terrence Shannon. Welcome back. Trevor, man, I want to be really honest with you. You have absolutely no idea what you're saying or talking about. Zero. Zilch. My recommendation would be to cut your fingers off and stop typing. Let's go to the Kings side. Westbrook, Levine, DeRozan, Eubanks, Keegan Murray is what we're looking at for today. Kings coming off of that Denver Nuggets win. Then they've got the Phoenix Suns on Wednesday. All right, I'm over this. Trevor, see you tomorrow, maybe. I just don't want to read your nonsense any longer. Oh, man. That's tough. That's tough. The level of ignorance and lack of knowledge there, that was just really staggering. I've never seen somebody just exude it. But it was happening. But obviously, I, a DFS player, working for Stokastic, a DFS site, don't agree with that one. You should sign up at Stokastic. You know what? Here's the perfect thing. Here's what we'll do. Trevor thinks it's dumb to play DFS. You guys should sign up to play DFS. Because Trevor doesn't seem to understand that the prize pools scale. So you can sign up and get the sims. You can get our projections, our ownership, the boom bust tool, our contest generator, the simulator, the single lineup simulator, which I absolutely love. You can get all of that. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video. Sign up through one of our partners, either a sportsbook or a pick'em site. Either way, you sign up through one of those, you follow the instructions on the page, you get our stuff for a month. And you could sign up for more than one of these offers and get more than 1 month. I highly recommend it. I use it every single day in this DFS thing that Trevor thinks stinks. It doesn't. It's awesome. So, let's hit this Kings spot. We'll get the projections up on the site. Russell Westbrook's been playing about 29 minutes or so. Levine for 31. DeRozan for 31. Keegan Murray back for 2 games now, 33 and 37 minutes. I think 34 feels pretty safe. And then in the 3 games without the boner, we've gotten 24 minutes out of Drew Eubanks. We'll get probably something in the neighborhood of 24 for Schroeder, for Precious, for Monk. Have they really pulled Keon Ellis? This team is so stupid. So dumb. Yeah, hit the like button. AOD, I agree. Let's get Reynald in there. We got 20 minutes left. I certainly don't... I like Cooper Flagg in the Rookie of the Year race. Derek Queen's not winning the Rookie of the Year. And I like him, but that's just not going to happen. That's the Kings, though. And that's 10 games up and 10 games down. So reminder, 7-game slate on DraftKings for today. The late 3 games are not on the slate. So the 9:30, the 10, and the 10. So we've got a real clean 7-gamer tonight. And we've got a pretty, solid pack of stuff coming up. Now, we don't have the 2 shows because it's Monday. So you'll have Monday Night Football live before lock. But you'll also have NBA live before lock tonight, myself and Eric Lindquist. But that'll be fine. At least I think it's Eric. Should be Eric. You guys should be following along on Tails. Before we get out of here, I want to remind you guys, it's important. You should download the app. Now, Trevor was talking about it earlier. Now, this would be the first place that he's actually been right. If you're looking for sports betting picks, parlay cards, pick'em cards, DFS coverage as well, very easy to do. Just download the app, totally free, or go to OddsShopper.com and browse to Tails. You don't have to spend a dime. You can follow people for free, check out the free picks feed. It's very easy, but it's, we're organizing this information to make life easier for you. If you want to subscribe to people like Eric, DK DFS, you can do that as well. But all of that information is on the site there for you. But links in the description if you want to sign up for Tails. That's going to do it, guys. We've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. Projections going up on the site soon. Keep your eyes peeled for the Strategy Show VOD, and keep your eyes peeled for the starting five later today. I'll see you guys on Live Before Lock later on, everybody.